It's 1 o'clock and I'm sitting in a hammock today because we got one and hung it in across the apartment. Today, I will be drinking this wine, which is called Comte de Foch, which is a Catalan wine from the Penedès region, made from Xarel·lo grapes, and it's very summery. It's very like floral, very peachy. It's a little bit buttery. It's pretty great. I think I mentioned in another video that like I wasn't sweating as much as last year in Lisbon, and I lied. It's really hot. There's been a heat wave and I am yet again sweating and just drinking wine. Because it's hot. I hate that feeling of like taking a shower and needing to take a shower again immediately. I hate that feeling of like my computer's fan is always on because it just doesn't cool down ever. And you can't put it on your lap because then your legs will get hot and you will feel hot. And I don't know about you guys, but I just get bitchy when that happens. It's a dilemma. So today I wanted to talk about being in a creative rut because I have been in one the last week or so, where I have ideas, but they haven't necessarily come to fruition the way that I wanted them to come to, and ultimately like all that's led me to do, which is what I always do when I get in a creative rut, is just like get super hyper focused on something. Whether that's a game, or watching an entire TV series in one run, what have you, I will get really obsessive with stuff and then like not let it go. I've just completely, utterly, thoroughly gotten through it. Then I usually will get back to normal and sort of regroup and recenter myself. It's almost like I need to completely focus on one random mindless thing for a little while in order to like reset myself and like let my creative energies build up again and feel like a normal human being. So this time I've been playing The Sims, of all things. It's this like idealized version of our world where like you can create soap opera scandals and you can make a world that's this like ideal, lovely, artificial place. It's like a microcosm of the world that we would want to live in but don't necessarily. So there's a lot of like our society is projected on how the gameplay functions, like how you build your houses and what the expectations in game are. Where like everything is really pretentious and even like the smallest, dinkiest of houses is a manor, and there's this like suburban ideal, having the perfect slatted home with a big hedge fence and you know, 3.2 children or whatever. Is this really like how the world should work? This is clearly not a representation of how the world actually works. First off, the game assumes that you're buying a house. And also, there's no like city option. So you can't just buy a condo. There's no apartment. You have to buy a house or you buy a blank lot to build a house on. And while that's all fun in games, since there are always a million expansion packs to the game, I want other expansion packs. I want like The Sims Sleepy Slum, The Sims Argue with Your Landlord over painting the wall, The Sims I can hear everything the neighbors upstairs are doing. There's so much real life interaction that's just missing. What does it say about us that the most entertaining things in the Sims game are making your Sims sleep with other Sims and also killing them by drowning them in a pool? It's a very weird feeling that this is supposed to be like a life simulator, but at the same time it's so far off what real life is. Like, no, you can't just willy-nilly murder someone in a pool. This is just not social protocol. That is insane, and yet that is so entertaining. All in a big house. Like, I understand why people like watching it on YouTube, because playing it is very engaging and engrossing, and you get really caught up in the world of these fake little people. At least in my case, I just kind of, after a little while, snap out of it, and I'm like, oh, like now I can get back to the real world and do real things. I'm still not feeling entirely creative, but I do have my wine. So, what shows are you watching and binging on? What do you do when you're bored? Please tell me in a comment or something. I make videos every week, and if you like this one, you could think about subscribing. I have a podcast that comes out every Monday called Bottom of the Mainstream, where we talk about LGBT issues and pop culture, and it's pretty freaking great. And I will see you next time.